Then how are they? Hi. So, still trying to do this. Wait. What? It spawned me backwards, I think. What? So confused. So the idea here is that, okay. So the idea here is that if we don't have, oh, okay, hold on. Was it that one? I think it was that one. Um, anyway, okay, so like, this right here. See how there is not a redstone brick right here. Block of redstone. And that's touching it. But I shouldn't be touching it. Hold on. Yeah, that should not be touching it. Because oh, boy. But, hold on. We were up late last night. We were sitting here playing video games. My husband was playing with our son on GTA, and I was doing this. And then all of a sudden, my sister calls and says, can you get to Sparks so we can visit before we go, before they go to South Dakota? And I'm like, yeah. I didn't even talk to my husband about it. I was like, yeah, we'll be there. So, even though it used more gas than we wanted to spend at the time, we did get we did get there, and it was good. We got to eat at Black Bear Diner for the first time ever. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be 9. It was good food. I got the chicken to be safe because usually nobody can screw up chicken. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, yeah. Anyway, usually nobody can screw up chicken, so I was like, I want that. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, no. Go in there then. Anyway, the chicken was really good. The fries were good. You know, not all restaurant fries are created equal. So, they were really good. And I ended up having leftovers of the fries, which I just ate for breakfast. So, I know it sounds like a weird thing, but, you know, it might sound like a weird thing to have fries for breakfast, but, you know, it's like we don't have milk in the house, we don't have this, we don't have that. Yeah. Oh, well, that is a small problem. We'll figure it out. Okay, in theory, that'll work. Ugh. That was one of those where you have like a slight burning sensation in your nose. It was weird. Um, or maybe burning isn't the exact right word, but you know, like a tingling sensation. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Mm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, you might hear loud gardening equipment, you know, like a ride-on lawnmower and stuff, for a little bit here. It's normal for Mondays. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, no, that's definitely gonna touch. Dang it. Okay, that's not gonna work. So, I am really, really hoping that I don't get sick, because apparently, my nephew has allergies and he was sick, which really sucks. Like, I guess, it doesn't sound like they're gonna, like, have an apartment for a while, but, but my nephew's, my nephew's gonna stay with them for, you know, like a month or something like that, and, then he's gonna go home again. Okay. Wait, all that's figured out. Oh. Oh, I need to put that back. Um... Put the candle back. Oh, I forgot I was still... Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know if you could hear what I was listening to, but I'm pretty sure I have permission from the person, from the person I was, okay, so I was watching, oh, yeah, not good to, oh, no, that's what I meant to do, kinda. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I have permission, if I'm streaming to have, Mr. Star and Sky in the background, but I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. Like, he gave a thumbs up or something like that, So it's like, is that yes or is that no? I'd rather a definite answer here. But just in case, I turned it down. So, like, maybe I can hear it, but the stream can't. Yep. Anyway, I am tired. Like, I was wide awake for... Maybe not... Maybe wide awake is too much. But I was awake. And now I'm back to... I'm tired again. So, my nephew being sick and having allergies, wasn't helping, it only wasn't helping because I I felt like I could get sick, and at one point, it was pretty cool. At one point, three of us and the dogs, my two doggy nieces, piled into the truck, and my nephew was in my seat, so I was sitting in the driver's seat just because I could. I didn't adjust the seat or anything. Like, so I could drive. And then my niece and uh okay, so there was my nephew and Lucy. Lucy was at his feet. Were in the front passenger seat. And then they call her Ariel. So it's like how Sebastian says it in The Little Mermaid. He doesn't say Ariel, he says Ariel. Okay. So, So anyway, um, we're not done with those trees by a long shot. Um, but anyway, so the kids fell asleep. They're not kids; they're teenagers, but they're younger than us. So anyway, they fell asleep, and so the dogs. And then at one point, when we're finally done, they were trying to me and my sister's husband. I mean, not my sister's husband and my husband were trying to install the air conditioner for the um for the bus. They're driving it all the way to South Dakota, and if South Dakota is anything like what you see um on Armageddon, it looks like it's all desert. But to where it's gonna have snow, and I don't think my sister's ready for that. Okay, my husband's been out there for, I think, over 13 minutes. And he's just now leaving. I mean, I know he's not, um, he's not, um, all there today because, he's a little sore. Probably comes from, uh, normally he does reports, but, he just throws some things on the shelf at work too. Not throw. It's just a term. We, you don't actually throw it. You just place it on the shelf. Well, thing is that, um, the store doesn't necessarily want him to do that. It's part of his job, but the store doesn't necessarily want him to do that because the previous person wasn't doing the job properly. And then I don't remember how my husband found out about the job, but he's had it ever since he got hired, and that's really awesome. Now, I may have to change my streaming schedule eventually because either I'm gonna hopefully I mean, I don't mind going. Okay, I actually kind of want the job, the job like my husband has. They're working on hiring a new person because the other person's moving to uh um I don't remember which one, but another state. So they're no longer going to be in Nevada. Anyway, so there's a job opening, and I keep telling my husband um to put my name in for it. I don't know how we're going to do it though because we only have one car. Well, we have two cars, but one of them doesn't run, so it doesn't quite count. Um, and we're not done with those trees on the mountain, but if this is all I have to do to fix it. It was a bright idea I got yesterday. Um, anyway, it's a bright idea I got yesterday. So, I was like, okay, we need to do this. Well, I was doing this down the mountain slowly, and then I was like, you know what? And, totally lost what I was saying. Oh, I was doing it down, I was, doing this down the mountain slowly, and then I was like, I got to a certain point, and I just decided, okay, we'll do all of this, and then we'll come back to the trees, because then the trees will be the last thing that we have to do, or that we need to do. So, we have done a lot of it. Oh, you know what? It might help if I turned Twitch on. Okay. Okay, that's weird. This morning I was like overly hot, sweating and everything. But I had, I basically had my blanket on. So, that was kind of the reason. But it was like hot in here at the time. And then now all of a sudden, the gardeners get here and it's cold. So, I don't know what, but. But yeah, we had a good visit. And, they took us to dinner. And, my husband had a burger. It was tall, but it wasn't very big. Not smell like a not smell like a McDonald's burger, but not as big as a Whopper, which is like kind of what we're expecting. I guess we're expecting like a Whopper, but taller. I don't know. Anyway, I was in let's not break the bank mode. So I got the chicken. I would have gotten the salad, but it's like it's supposed to have avocado in it. And it's supposed to have red onions. I love salads, but I don't think it would have. Not entirely sure it would have filled me up. Anyway. Oh, my niece my niece had a pot pie. Well, the pot pie took half an hour to cook it, and apparently hardly anybody orders that, so they only make 3 of them a day, and she got the last one. So it was interesting. And then my nephew, um he had a breakfast meal. I didn't know that you could order a breakfast meal. I probably would have done that. But we'd never eaten there before. And now it's, you know, now it makes me a little upset because we had a Black Bear Diner just literally down the street and around the corner from us. But we have found out that not all restaurants are created equal because in Reno, Carl's Jr. has the Western Bacon Cheeseburger and it tastes so good. Because it's actually a barbecue sauce like it's supposed to be. Here, just down the street from us, it's a uh, more of a mustard concoction. Doesn't taste as good. So the good news is that we can concentrate the whole entire stream to Minecraft. So when we do get back to the trees, when we do get back to the trees, we can just finish it as soon as possible. And so I did my new grand exhibition stuff, but I have not put the as far as I know, I have not put in the fish. And then on my that's on Dreamlight Valley, and on my sister's file, I think I did the same thing. Just haven't put in the fish. I'm not even sure. I don't even know if I did it on hers yet. Now that I think about it. Anyway, it was a nice visit. I think I'm never gonna see her again. Well, I don't want to say never, but I will probably not see her again. She's moving to South Dakota. We don't even know how to. I mean, I'm sure we could Google Map it, but like we don't even know how to get to South Dakota. Okay, so John Snyder and his wife Dee Dee, um, they are doing a 50-state tour, and I'm sure those videos are going to be coming out soon. Oh, I know why it's cold in here. I think I have our air conditioner on, and it's only 59 outside. So it turns out I was looking at a one house online, but I was meaning to look at this other house, and the house I was looking at was 336,000 or something like that. Still out of our price range, but um, with the help we've been promised, we might have been able to do it. Well, then the house I want to get is literally almost $500,000. It's, like 446 or something like that. I only want to get it because, because my in-laws are, older, and it would probably help if we were a little closer to them. And most of the stuff we want to go to is over here anyway. There's, just like two things that, um, there's two things that we do on the other side of town. Three if, the one store doesn't have it here, and they've got the same store over in the North Carson area. Did it again. Okay. Anyway, so like, if if we need to or want to buy ice cream or some of the other stuff, milk, eggs, whatever, we'll usually go to the South Carson store. In my husband's mind, it's closer. I don't think so, but whatever. But we started going to that one because Costco's down there too. So after we're done shopping, maybe we can get a hot dog. Um, Usually we can, because it's only $3.23 to get 2 hot dogs and 2 sodas. Wonderful bargain at the Costco food court. Not getting paid to advertise that either. If they would like me to, if they'd like to pay me to advertise, I will. They have a lovely chicken bake. It is yummy, but I haven't had it since before my surgery last year, and I don't know if my stomach is going to be yay if I go and try it again, or if it's going to be like, oh heck no, like it was last time I had it. I thought that it was because, I thought it was because, I'll make sense in a minute. Okay, one of the things that I ate during the whole COVID thing, tasted great at the time, but it came back up again. I thought, It has to be because of COVID, you know. We did get sick at one point, and everything tasted dirty unalived. Seriously, it tasted like dirt and it being unalived. It was really weird. But you know, I ate um the KFC chicken bowl, which is kinda, you know, it's got good stuff in it, you know, corn and mashed potatoes, I think, and chicken, but it also had cheese, I think it was. And you know, that's like a big part of the dish. And you know, so I erupted, and we decided not to get that again. Yeah, not to get that for me again. When we go to KFC, we get the 3 or 4 chicken pieces, extra, not extra crispy, but crispy. Well, right now I'm thinking this might be a two-parter. Keep feeling I need to fall asleep again. You know, because it was so late at night. Usually we go to bed at 11, so it really wasn't that late when we looked at the clock. It was 11:24. Um, to start going home. So I am pretty sure I fell asleep while he was driving on the freeway. It might have been when he was driving um um you know, on the freeway between Reno and Carson, but yeah. I just know I definitely fell asleep because, like, all of a sudden, where, um, you know, like, I woke up just before, he turned onto the street to go down it to, you know, go onto our street. So, you know, at least I got to sleep. But I was sleeping sitting up, so I don't know if that really counted. People usually don't sleep very well if they're sitting up, but you never know. So I got another page done of my story, but I got to piece it together, make sure it flows and everything. But that shouldn't take too long. But if I end up falling asleep, you know, that would be kind of funny if, like, as long as I don't go past a certain, you know, as long as I don't go past the school and all that, it'd be kind of funny if I fell asleep and then I was just like walking against this wall or something. So it's not a bad thing. Because I have gotten lost on my own map before. And I was so far out. Well, I was so far out that I was trying to figure out how to get back to, you know, it was this, not this, it was this, but not this. It was a previous, a previous copy of the build. And I had accidentally, like, yeah, gone off in that direction. Or, no, I think I'd gone off in that direction. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. So I had gone off in that direction and just kept going because I fell asleep um, while I was building. So I ended up, like way far away. And then, I was going that way actually at that time, I think. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. The sun was setting over here. Or the moon was setting over here, something like that. And so I started going that way. And I finally found my way. And then it was like, oh, like I could breathe again. I was happy, I am thinking of when I have an outer edge to um when I have an outer edge to uh okay, so I'm thinking about building a barrier wall that is at least 20 high. And no, well, I keep saying I want to do it to where it's all the way up to the height limit, because that way I cannot get lost. So I had fries for breakfast. I was not kidding about that. So you might be thinking, oh, she's yawning because she's hungry. But that's not it. I'm just yawning because, it's kind of like I, I went to sleep. I mean, I went to bed at, like midnight or a little bit yeah, I think a little bit after midnight. And it's like when I got up to go upstairs, it's kind of like that, you sleep until a certain time and then you have to get up in the middle of the night. It's like that. So, no, it was kind of crazy because they decided to do the putting the air conditioner thing in um um pretty early. I mean, not pretty early, pretty late. It was, dark outside and everything. But that bus needed an air conditioner. It was so hot during the day. But then they had, I think my husband called it a sawzall. And, they made a hole in the roof so they could, they made a hole in the roof so they could put the air conditioner in there. And I don't understand how it's supposed to work. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so I think it's Lily underscore Gordon 18 says hey, and Amy underscore Riley 01 says hey, what's up? Can you reply me on chat because my headset is not working. And then the last person doesn't deserve a shout out because they're just trying to sell me viewers. I will not buy or sell viewers. I just don't think that's right. I I literally feel like it's human trafficking or selling your personal identifiable information or whatever it is. Um, I don't like doing that. Well, I don't even know how to do that, but I don't like doing that because that is like, it's like I had my mom's credit card number. Would I like sell that to some company? No. I mean my mama's sorry, my mama's credit card. I had that because for a for a little bit there she was trying to buy something on Amazon but she didn't know how. So, I think we used a credit card and, we're able to get whatever it was. Don't remember that very well though. So, sometime while we were there, we found out that one of the people that was we were at a like a trucker's gas station. It's got a little convenience store. It's got some slot machines for gambling. Bathrooms. And a restaurant. Well, I don't want to say the name of the restaurant because it sounds like it sounds like a bad, but it's actually perfectly okay. But like I said, I don't want to say it on stream just in case. Um, really. Anyway, so, so we had to go to the bathroom and restroom, whatever you call it, uh, at like 9 something, or maybe it was earlier than that. But oh, okay. But I mean, later than that. But anyway, I had to go. So I, got my sister to go with me. I think we both had to go. But anyway, I didn't like it because it didn't have seat covers. But anyway, at the same time that we were in the bathroom, this other lady was in the bathroom. She's moving to Oregon. And my sister is moving to South Dakota. Oi. I know. I'm going to be mentioning that a few times, I'm sure. You know, we'll probably get right back into the old, the old routine and it'll be fine. But at the moment, it doesn't feel fine. And there's nothing wrong with South Dakota. It's just that my sister's going to be there and, be so far away. Okay. Actually, I don't even know. Okay, I've never been to South Dakota, so I don't know if there's anything wrong with it. But I'm assuming, I know, never assume, that there's nothing wrong with South Dakota, except for that my sister's going to be there instead of here. And, ew, I just thought of something, but, God willing, that won't happen. Yeah, we were going through a few pictures at one point yesterday, and I found the ones of Grandma dancing. I thought it was cool. Because Grandma just turned 90. And it's like, wow. Oh, and I found this great picture of that I took of the deer around here. It was like 5 or 6 of them. There might have even been 7 of them. But anyway, there was a lot. And yeah, just as soon as I went out the door to take their picture, eating the grass, they decided, oh no, she could have a gun, and started walking off, to wherever they were going next. And it's like, I'm not going to hurt you. They, they probably are not the same deer from like last year. Because usually I can just walk out there and go, hey, I just want to take your picture. And then they'll stay where they are. They'll let me take a picture and it's all good. But this time, nope, they were walking off. So I got a lot of the rear end of every single one of those deer. See, I'm hoping stuff like this. There's no reason for this to be lit up right now. Okay. That was the problem. That corner right there. It's one of those things where like, you go and fix it and that it might be fixed the next time, it might not. I'm almost there. Because this is the 3rd Street Inn. And I think I'm starting to fall asleep. You know, like how you get up in the middle of the night, to go to the bathroom, and then you, and then you go back to sleep. You're already asleep, and then you go to the get up to go to the bathroom, and then um, after you're done doing what you need to do, you, you go back to sleep. Well, yeah, I didn't get to go back to sleep. I, stayed up for, uh, because it was this morning. But anyway, I didn't get to go back to sleep. I worked on my story for a little bit. I don't know why I've been having the problem of not wanting to do it. But I'm up to page 321, and if I can get up to page 336, then I'll be 100 pages out. I'll just have 100 pages to go, and it'll be great. But it doesn't look like it's... Okay. Anyway, it doesn't really look like it's gonna happen today because I'm probably gonna end up taking a nap. I didn't used to take naps, like, ever. Not since I was like 4 or 5 years old. So, like, if I looked like I was not gonna go to sleep, my mom would put on, like, The Music Man or Wizard of Oz. Or, no, she never put on Wizard of Oz for me to go to sleep. What was it? Well, she put on, or like maybe the pirate movie. She put something on like that. But, like, yeah, because there was like 3 noisy ones. Maybe Wizard of Oz. Um, but, she put that on and then I'd fall asleep on the couch for my nap. And, because I think that was before I had a TV in my room. I kept asking, and I think I kept asking for a TV in my room, and my dad finally got a TV for my room, and so I'd be, if I remember correctly, because it doesn't seem, it, I remember it being on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But that doesn't sound like what would happen if I was going to a full day of school. So maybe it was 4 and I just thought it was 2. I don't know. But anyway, I would, like be listening to that while I was doing my homework. Probably not the best idea in the world, but there were some days when I'm like, it'll be there forever. And I wish it was. John Snyder, who used to play Bo Duke on The Dukes of Hazzard, he used to play Uncle Somebody in Smallville. I think he said Uncle Somebody. And, no, he was in, like, Superman's adopted dad. After Superman lands on Earth, kind of thing. I've never seen that show, so I don't know how it happened on the show. But I know in the movie, his egg pod thing, landed. It got teleported from the Superman planet to Earth, and it just kind of floated down, and then when he's like, when he looks like a 4-year-old, because he had like just landed, maybe he was younger than that. I want to say when he was like a 4-year-old. The See, I keep wanting to call them Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru because I haven't seen that one in so long. But for some reason, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru keeps popping into my head, and I haven't seen Star Wars: A New Hope in a very long time either. So, doesn't make any sense, but and he played on an episode of Dr. Quinn. That was like a big surprise. He's playing a cowboy who fell in love with an Native American girl. They call her an Indian, I think, but yeah, they fell in love and assume they got married. And they had a baby together. Well, she passed away or got unalived by somebody. I can't remember which. And did I fix this? Maybe this was part of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I was trying to do that for every single one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I'm sorry I'm yawning so much. Yawning more than I usually do. And then talking about it made me yawn again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Okay. Um, anyway, so he ends up in Dr. Quinn's barn with his son, and the Matthew and probably Dr. Quinn. I'm not sure. I think it's just Matthew. Pulled a gun on the guy, and a rifle. I think it is. Um, and is like, "Why are you in my barn?" And it was just, we need milk for the baby, and it turns out the baby's sick, so um, the baby's sick, so Dr. Quinn goes and makes the baby all better, but then uh, the dad, because I can't remember his name on the episode, but uh, we'll just call him John because he's played by John Schneider. Anyway, I was having a mental breakdown for a second there. Couldn't remember his name. How can I not remember his name? I've been watching him like all my life. Okay, I don't know if my mom and dad were like, sitting down going, "Ooh, they just advertised this new show. Let's watch it." So I have been watching it all my life, or if it like came around a little after or something like that. But I think the first episode was in 1979. And I was born in 1978. So I'm trusting you with that information. Don't use it badly, please. But yeah, so I've pretty much been watching it all my life. That and Knight Rider and Magnum PI and A Team, all sorts of good shows. Wonder Woman. Although some of them I had to wait until I got them on DVD to continue watching them. But anyway, on that episode of Dr. Quinn, the dad leaves the baby with Dr. Quinn, thinking, uh, thinking all women know how to raise babies, pretty much. So, so, um, so she's like, I've got Matthew, Colleen, and Brian. Yeah, why not? And add another one, Well, she had to be talked into that, but, uh, kinda. Wait. Okay. But anyway, she decides to raise a baby. Well, then the guy's like, I miss my baby so much. Let me take him with me. And she's like, how do I know that you are not going to, um, just abandon him when life gets hard again? And I don't remember him having an answer for that, but anyway, somewhere in the episode he sings a really nice song, and I remember it starting with like "Hush, little baby, don't you cry" or something like that, or "Hush, my son, don't cry," or I don't know. Haven't watched that in a while either. Um, I find that certain things, um, I find that certain things end up, certain ideas end up in my stories when I watch other people's stuff, which can be good, but it can also be bad. Like, like if you remember the movie A Cinderella Story, there's the scene where, these are the people who won the contest, and it was Prince Charming and Cinderella. Anyway, that's not what I meant. Anyway, that kind of thing is in my story, not that specifically. Because Sean and Ashley like dressing up like a pirate captain. But it did end, something like that did end up in my story. So I was kind of like, um, I was kind of like, we don't need to have other people's ideas in my stories, but there's some stuff that is based on something that I saw in a movie. So, or like if they go to the movies, because they go to the movies a few times, um, I'll I'll um dance around the idea of what the movie is. So like one of the oh, that's not appropriate. uh okay, there you go. That's safer. Um One of the movies that they go see, um I said something along the lines of being sucked into a comic book world and asked to police it. Asked to police it, and so that would be the movie Cool World with Brad Pitt in it. It's also got I think it's Kim Basinger. Um, I may be wrong, but I think it is. Anyway, so I just come up with a way to describe it, or like no, that's not appropriate either. Anyway, so I have a long list of movies that are talked about in the book. In one of the books, and well, that can stay there. I have a long list of movies that are talked about in the book, including Quickly Down Under. Um, I want to say it's the first Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr. Um, I want to say. I'm not entirely sure. Could have been number 2, but either way, there's a scene with a pillow in a very interesting spot. Um, and then, and then there's Quigley Down Under, where they're walking somewhere, but they don't know where they're walking. Anyway, and they have a conversation where something is mentioned, and she's like, "Well, shame on you." Yeah. Because she was, suggesting that they do that the night before. Because Cora isn't all there all the time. And the only reason is because when she was married to a guy and they were pregnant, or they ended up getting pregnant with their first child. Well, when he was a baby. Well, actually, we don't know if it's the first child. We just assume. Um, but anyway, he's oh yeah, he's junior, so he's got to be the first. Anyway, so um, he was away on business, getting more ranch hands or something like that, and the as she put it, Comanches came and they're like making a mess of the house, and she's like down in the basement or whatever it was, hiding, and she was telling her baby, hush baby, because baby was crying. And she didn't mean to, but she held her hand over her baby's mouth and couldn't breathe, so he passed away. Well, then she stayed there until he came home because she was afraid to find out what he was going to do when he found out that the baby wasn't alive anymore. And he put her on the first boat he found. I mean, he drove away with her, and it ended up that he put her on the first boat he saw, and it was headed to Australia. So she's living with the guilt of accidentally unaliving her child and being abandoned by her husband. So, ow. So anyway, she goes to Australia, and I don't know if it's like she's been like that for a while, or if it's like she was on the ship with Quigley and they just never met up, or what. But definitely, um she's definitely a little crazy because of all that. Um well, eventually she does meet Quigley, but she keeps calling him Roy because that was her husband's name. Um But it's funny because they're like, or Quigley's in a fight with the people that are supposed to come pick him up because they don't know that that's the guy that they're supposed to be picking up, and he doesn't know that that's the guys that are supposed to be picking him up, you know? So anyway, that's mentioned in my book. That's mentioned in my books for a very specific reason. And then, what other movies have I put in there? Um, like, okay, so like I said, the new detective movie, but I don't know. I didn't know which one it was. So unless, did I do that right? Okay. Did I do that right? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I put the new detective movie, and I think I did that because you could go and, um, you could make it Dick Tracy. You could make it be, one of the Sherlock Holmes movies. It could be, one of the original Sherlock Holmes movies. Because when I search Sherlock Holmes, I mean Robert Downey Jr. In this case, it could be, um, I don't know. I'm sure there's others, and I just can't think of them right now because, like I said, I'm tired. We stayed up, except for my little nap in the car. We stayed up way too late last night. And it's just, it's like time frame wise, my body's going, you were supposed to go back to sleep when you got back. And I was feeling awake-ish. Not awake, awake-ish. So I'm like, I'm going to work on my story. So I did and got a page done. I just got to piece it together now and it's all good. Okay. Ow. So yeah, I started to pick up the controller and then one of my fingers was like, ow. So, it's the ring finger on my left hand. It's one of the fingers I broke, and I think it, deserves to hurt every once in a while. I didn't break it on purpose. Oh no, I guess this is a... Also, a grass one. I gotta go and make sure that he locked the door. After we're done with all this, because it looks like I'm gonna fall asleep. And I'm a little upset about that, because I wanted to work on my story and then give myself some time on my sister's Dreamlight Valley file. Yesterday I was doing a Lumiere quest. Wait, was it yesterday or the day before that? Anyway, recently I was doing a Lumiere quest, and then it just kind of was done, and that's it, kind of thing. It wasn't saying, go talk to Lumiere. Oh, it was saying level somebody up to a, it was saying level somebody up to a certain level. And I don't remember what that level was, but anyway, I don't remember what that level was, but I think level 7. I think level 7. So I have to go and... Dang it! Now my controller batteries are low. It's okay, I've got a backup, but... This is a really good project for today. Not much to think about, Wait, what am I doing? Oi. I'm not even from the country where you say oi. It's just I heard it on a movie. Excuse me. I heard it on a movie like 60 billion times. Maybe not 60 billion, but anyway, a lot of times. And I was like, I like that word. Don't know how to spell it, but I liked it. So, it crept into my speech. Yeah, so we might end early today. I don't know. It's just gonna depend on how, it's gonna depend on how much I can stay awake. Dumb question. No. Yeah. Okay. Huh? Oh, because this is the over. Okay, yeah. I was questioning it for a little bit, but I forgot. This side is going that way, and that side is going that way. So it's perfectly fine. If we do end up ending early, then I will try to stream something later. See, and there it goes again. Something with that corner on some of them. Okay. So I forgot I went and brought the, I went and did that all the way down. So now I need to go and do that up. Oh my goodness. You're like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh, because there's not enough room. Keep falling asleep. Or, starting to fall asleep. If I could just get this up to up there, then I could fall asleep for, an hour or two, whatever it's going to be, and then come back to this. And I could still find time to do my stuff on my sister's star path and other stuff, and then okay. So apparently, right now they can either run the the refrigerator or the air conditioner because they don't have enough power. But as soon as he puts the solar panel things on it, it should be just fine. But I don't know if that's gonna work the way he thinks it is. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta fix this one. There we go. Oh, wait, I fixed the other one, right? Yeah. I'm determined that we're gonna get back up to the spot where we were working on trees. This should, I think, all be done. Or maybe I have to go all the way up to, maybe I have to go all the way up to Grammy Patricia's and come back again. I'm not sure. It's one of those times when I wish we could have a Pepsi or a Coke. Hi, I'm back again. I took the opportunity to add Lily Gordon to my Discord. She wanted to she says she's a great animator, so she wanted to share that with me. I still might be falling asleep after the battery problem. I just switched batteries, so it's not a problem anymore. I'm just saying it was a problem a minute ago. I mean, a few seconds ago. Well, no, probably about a minute ago, because I did add on Discord. I barely know how to use Discord, fair warning for everybody, but I do know how to, chat with everybody. Don't always answer right away, but please don't give up on me, because, I do answer eventually. It's just that I'm so busy. I'm doing this, and I'm doing, editing my book, and what else? Well, take care of my cats. We're probably going to be moving soon. Unless a miracle happens. Like, um, like, somebody said they were Vin Diesel, and I'd like to believe that it was 01. I don't know, though, because you can go and put any picture you want on there and say that, you're the person. But, like, if, some well-off person wanted to donate money so we can keep our house, like, pay it off, and then, like, if they wanted, us to pay them back, maybe they can make a little bit more reasonable, way for us to pay them back. I wouldn't mind, like, if somebody wanted to donate money so we could just pay off the house, and then we don't have to worry about anything but the HOA. That would be really cool. I'm not expecting it, but it would be really cool. Like it would be like, your fortune cookie says the money's in the mail, and then you actually get it. That'd be so cool. I don't think I've ever had my fortune cookie, come to anything. I don't know if I've ever had my fortune cookie, say like, you'll be financially stable within a year, and it actually happened, But it would be cool. Um, but on the other hand, this time last year, I was thinking that getting those valid public watch hours was definitely a pipe dream, like it wasn't going to happen. But we've worked up to 1,265 last I looked. And that's awesome. And again, I'm saying thank you. I love that. Okay. I was probably saying no harm, no foul at leaving this here. It doesn't need to be there. So I'm also saying it doesn't need to be there. Um, so I ended up just leaving it. But I think it's because at that moment was being like too lazy to take it out. Yeah. So, we're gonna get up to the marker, see if I need to go to Granby Patricia's or if it's, all done. And then we're going to have to continue the tree removal like this. I didn't want to take out the trees. I really didn't. It took a very long time. I'm pretty sure it took some tears to put that together. You know, because you're like sitting there and you're bone milling the heck out of this tree and it just does not want to grow. Um, so sometimes when that happens, you can go and take out the tree and then it'll just grow right there. I mean, you know, when you plant the new one, it'll just grow. No problem. And you're like, well, why couldn't the one that I already had in there have done that? And you're like, I don't know. But, you know, it would have been nice. Yeah, there was another hole. Okay. You're like, I don't know. It would have been nice if it would have actually bothered to grow, but, you know, it didn't. So, you know, eventually you get over it and it's okay. But, yeah, that happened on so many trees. Now, if I really wanted to do this right, I would go and make every single one of those trees on this mountain full length, beautiful trees. But I don't know if I'm going to have time for that because, you know, literally we only have until July 4th and it's already the 8th of June. There's a lot of trees. Yeah, there's a lot of trees. Anyway, I would like to get it to where we can just do it and then post it on the 4th and then, you know, on the 4th at like say 2 o'clock, I think would be a good time. Why is this one done already? Okay, don't look the gift horse in the mouth. Yeah, one less for me to do. Um, anyway, like, say at 2 o'clock, you know, I can go and, um, set it to I mean, not to subscribe. Set it to public and it'd be all good. Because the problem is that I don't know if it's just my YouTube, but you set something for a certain time and it does not bother to post. I checked it and everything and it was supposed to post and it didn't, and I still don't know why it didn't do it. So anyway, at like 6 or 9 o'clock, or yeah, I think it was like 9 something, I started posting videos, and I'm like, oh, great. Yeah, nobody's gonna see them. Nobody's gonna know they're there. Anyway, so on Tuesday, we're gonna have some more Clue. And on Wednesday, I mean, not Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to have more GTA and Forza Horizon 5 and, whatever have you. So, oh, Forza Horizon 6 is on that list too. Okay, so I just want to go and make sure that they're all done. Beyond that point, I know I did this yesterday. It should all be done. Why is there 2 pillars? I have no idea. Oh, okay, so that's a tree thing. These trees were taken out or not planted already. Taken out. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. And this is done. What? Why is there something here? It's done. Tree-wise, anyway. And then I'm not taking out the other pillars, so I can go make sure that all the other ones are, maybe I just forgot to take it out. Or wanted to drive myself crazy when I came back to this project. I don't know. Because there's that pillar there, and that pillar doesn't make any sense, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we'll go over there and make for dang sure. If any of them light up after this without being pressure plated with the detector rail, I'm gonna, well, okay, first of all, I'm gonna be mad. And second of all, yeah, okay. You're probably asking how can I tell since I'm going so fast, and I just can. I want to double check that one, sorry. Yeah, I'm tired. Well, it could be that we get, one more row of trees done. Or we just go around starting up here. And start taking out the trees. Now, I've got a question. I don't think any of you can answer it, but I have a question. On Disney's Alice in Wonderland, the animated, okay, they have a joke question mark. I mean, it's a riddle. It's a riddle. Yeah. Okay, anyway, they have this riddle. How is a raven like a writing desk? Does anybody know if that actually has an answer? If it does, okay. If it does, please, please, please Give me the answer to the riddle, because I don't know. Because the only thing I can think of is that they're both black in color. Or maybe a writing desk has a quill, so they both have feathers. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, wait a minute. We have to go. Because it was supposed to be back behind. Oh, yeah, they should be getting shorter. Hold on. Okay. He always does that. I keep telling him that if you're gonna lock any door, if you're gonna lock any door, lock the storm door, because not security door, whatever. The big mill door that acts like a screen, and you know, so it's three. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, and then the barriers is what I was trying to figure out. But he insists on only locking the bottom lock on the door. It's driving me crazy. So I end up, locking. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This is where the barrier blocks go. If you're wondering why we went and put in the little alcoves and then took them out again, yeah, I decided that we needed to take out the trees, and the trees are just in the way, and I can't help it. I can't help it. They're just in the way. I actually built this before I was even thinking about putting a fireworks show in it. I built it way before that. It was just going to be my world. And then I was like, well, okay, it doesn't have the, there's supposed to be a cliff. There's supposed to be, you go from the mansion down the dirt path to the long dirt path too. It's not like the one that I built in the other file, but the one that I did build will do. I built it way too nice and straight. It's supposed to be like a regular trail that would go down the mountain. Probably like Point Reyes or something. Point Reyes is in California near San Francisco, and you would never believe that this really nice place, it's just out there with San Francisco being, pretty close to it. But it does exist. It's a hiking and camping area. So, like I think you only have to get you only have to get permission to be there. So like a camping tag, if you are, I think that's how it works. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on it. Um, but I think you only have to get like, a camping tag, or a permission to be there tag if you're actually camping overnight. But yeah, you can like go and hike all over the place. The only place that we no, there's probably a couple of them that we didn't go to, but there was like Sky Camp. It was supposed to be like, way high. And the like the trails were supposed to be like very, very up. And when we were doing this, my sister was like 5. So it wasn't a very good thing. We just didn't think that we could go up there. So it was like we were trying to we were trying to go camping, be off the devices and stuff. And so we mostly went to Coast Camp. And then all of a sudden we went to Glen Camp a couple of times. And another time we went to Wildcat Camp. Um, okay, so I hate to say it, but I barely remember. Um, like I remember a few times when we, uh, there was this one. There was this one where, um, um, yeah, there's this one time when, um, part of the trail was you go around this big, um, gorge or crevice, whatever you call it. Um, anyway, the path went around that, and so it took a long time to get over there. So it probably wouldn't have taken half as long as if they had built a bridge or something, but um that wouldn't be like it was originally. So like this whole thing is, like it is originally, like there's gnarly gnarly scary trees uh there's on the hiking path somewhere. I don't know if it's that one, but anyway, there's like scary trees and oh, that was on the way to Coast Camp. Anyway, there's like scary trees. You're like, I wonder if they're dead or if they just grew that way. You know, I don't know what was up those trees, but But they were pretty freaky. I'm still tired. It's just we stayed up so late last night, so I just need to sleep. Because it's like when you get up in the middle of the night and then because you gotta go to the bathroom and then you do what you need to do and then you go back to bed and you try to go to sleep. Well, most people succeed. In this case, I think it was my body thought that, after we went to, after we went to bed, and when I just woke up, that was the bathroom break, and then, I need the more sleep. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm right, though. Oh, so anyway, but I had, we had, um, not like, roller coaster kind of fun, but we had fun yesterday. Their their dog Ari didn't recognize me, so she's like bark 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 bark. Bark. She's not pit bull. Maybe she is part pit bull. I can't remember. I think she is though. I just can't remember for so I'm not so so I definitely know I'm telling you the truth, you know. But I think she's part pit bull. But that had nothing to do with it. It's just that, she was barking at me. So, it was like ruff, 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 ruff. And she wouldn't stop. She would not stop. Well, but we finally got her to calm down, and like I said, toward the end of the night, um, Ari was in the back seat with she's Ariel, um, but they call her Ari for short. Anyway, Ari was in the back with my niece. My nephew was in my seat. Uh, I've got the front passenger seat unless I'm driving. I've got the front passenger seat usually, but my nephew is sitting in it, so I'm hoping I'm not coming down with something. Um, that would suck, having to move and be sick at the same time. I would definitely be telling my husband I don't want to help. And then like you end up packing the cold. One, two, three, out. So that's gonna be taken out too. So like everything I touch might um might make us sick later. That would be bad. That would be very bad. Okay, so I just want to go on record saying I do not like that Disneyland doesn't play, the classic Disney movies, I mean, Disney songs anymore. Like they're not singing, they're not playing or singing Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. They're not singing or playing Whistle While You Work. They've got this new, um, Disney-esque rock and roll kind of stuff, or pop, something like that. and I don't necessarily like it. You know, I would like it if I'm like going down Main Street and all of a sudden I hear Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest. You know, if you don't know what that's from Robin Hood. Disney's animated Robin Hood. Um, or or whistle while you work, da 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 da. Or or that music from the scene where she's dancing with the dwarfs. There's probably somebody out there who's like, that's indecent because she's a young lady and she's living with 7 guys. There's probably somebody thinking that way. And I'm like, dude, they pretty much rescued her. Well, I mean, the animals rescued her, but, they didn't turn her out. They didn't say, no, this is our house, go away. Of course, part of that's because she's the princess. If they would have turned her out, that would have been a bad thing. Be, besides, I mean, she might have found somebody else to help her. You know, that being only about a half an hour movie is pretty cool. They managed to tell a whole entire story in just a half an hour. You know? Okay. Um, most of my books would take way more than half an hour. I mean, I'm sure we could get it down to like a 2 hour movie, but um, because there's some stuff where you could just um, tell that part of the story in the way that people are like that whole scene where she goes to town um on her motorcycle because I'm changing it from Angel. I just need to figure out where in Lessons in Love it says Angel and turn it to the motorcycle. Um or her motorcycle. It should probably be her motorcycle. But if she's riding Morgan's motorcycle, then it could be her motorcycle. Um. Oh, another example. Okay, that's not a movie, but another example of how I say what I want to say without saying what I want to say is because I don't know if these people are going to be okay with me putting their movie title in my book. So I'd rather pussyfoot around it and, let you know exactly what movie it is without letting you know exactly what movie it is. I mean, without giving the title, you know? But anyway, another example of how I do that in other ways is you will never hear me say Coke or Pepsi. You'll never hear me say Sprite, 7 Up, Sierra Mist. I do not like Starry. Starry is nasty. Sierra Mist was good. That company that makes that, maybe Pepsi, I'm not sure, needs to fix that. Starry is nasty. I mean, there's people out there who would drink it, but I've seen more people at Costco grab for the Peps. I mean, not the Pepsi. It's Coke products. Um, I've seen more people go for the Coca-Cola or um I think they got Sprite there now. Maybe they have. I don't know. Anyway, I've seen more people go for um the Coke or the Diet Coke than the um or when it was Pepsi. More people go for the Pepsi than Pepsi or Diet Pepsi than the Starry, because Starry is not good. Something got reversed in the recipe and they need to switch it. Or at least I think that's what happened, because it tasted good and then now it tastes kind of bitter. But anyway, my point is that I will put cola, and then if I'm saying cherry Coke, I will say cherry cola, and then if I'm saying cherry Pepsi, I still think I say wild cherry, but I'll be saying wild cherry cola. And the reason why I do that is because I don't have permission from Coke or Pepsi to have their soda in my book. And I don't know who to reach out to or how to reach out to them in the first place. So I just put cola. And then if it's like strawberry soda or orange soda or something like that, then I'll just put, strawberry soda. That way, because like back when, that way you can't get in trouble for it. Or you shouldn't be able to get in trouble for it anyway. Um, back when S.E. Hinton wrote The Outsiders, apparently it was okay to put that you were a Pepsi fiend, or you were allowed to put that. I mean, because in most of the book, it's Pepsi, 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 Pepsi. But somewhere in there, I think at the drive-in, they're drinking Coke, or or maybe it was when they were at the um I'll call it a convenience store, but that's not the word she used. Or maybe it was a hardware store. Anyway, they went somewhere and they were drinking, and they bought Cokes and were blowing their straw paper, the paper around the straw, at the waitress. I have definitely heard that one recently, so I know for certain that it was blowing their straws at the. They, she said, well, it's supposed to be, Ponyboy is the narrator. He doesn't actually, he. I've got it on audio. Anyway, um, he. It's from his point of view. That's what. It's from his point of view. I was trying to figure out how to say it. It's from his point of view. He's telling the story. But Jim Fine, I think that's his name, is the narrator. because, like I said, I have it on audio. I had it on audio CD at one point, but I think this is a download. But anyway, I'm not sure how I have it. Huh. I just know I do. So I'm happy about that. That's one of my favorite books. In junior high, I didn't get it. So later later in high school, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I gave this book a chance. And I read it again, and I'm like, oh, I like that book. Why didn't I like that book before? I think I didn't like it because we had to read it. It's just one of those things where when you have to read a book, it's not okay, but when you want to read it, it's different. Like, I would like to give Bridge to Terabithia another chance. Also. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where the trees are, but... Okay. Wait, we'd have to take out 2 rows of trees. What? No, I think here... I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm tired. Okay, where did we put the back here? Oh, we put it all the way over here. Okay. Either way, we're gonna have to take out this row of trees. 2 rows of trees. Is it 2 rows of trees? I think it is. Yeah. I have to take out 2 rows of trees. And that is not good. The tree lovers are going to be like, no! Hey, it's 10:21 already. And we're getting really close to having this whole thing done. Or at least I think it will be done. So, I started watching my videos again. A little bit. It was distracting. I think it was distracting me though, because I think I was spending more time talking to Mr. Star in the Sky, even though he can't hear me, than actually doing my story. But I was trying. Like I said, I just I think I need more sleep. And when I get more sleep, then I'll be able to do more story. So the idea yesterday, until my sister called, the idea yesterday was to go and finish as much of my story as I could until. But I think I was still doing this. Anyway, to finish as much of my story as I could before dinner, and um, and then do some of her star path and stuff after dinner. Well, that didn't work because, she called me and she's like, if you want to see me, you gotta come meet me over here. And it didn't exactly go that way, but, pretty much. So anyway, we went to go visit, So it didn't go according to plan. So it didn't go according to plan, but I gotta quit doing that. Anyway, it didn't go according to plan, but we got to visit before they left. So I was really happy about that. Like, we've gotten to that part of life where, a whole bunch of family has passed away in the last few years, including our cat. So, and it was kind of strange. Coral went at the Coral went at the end of January and of 2025, on the 23rd, oddly enough. I think I said the 25th yesterday, and I meant the 23rd. But anyway, Grandpa, my last grandpa, on Mom's side, not Mama's side, Mom's side, he went, I want to say December 18th, 2025. So, one at the beginning and one at the end. And, oh yeah, okay. Just December and September, and January, September, and December had my aunt, my brother's, my dad's brother, uncle, my aunt, that was my mama's sister, older sister, she passed away, January 2024, and then my dad's oldest brother, I think he's the oldest, was the oldest, passed away in September, and then, the aunt that passed away in January, her husband passed away in December. So that was in 2024. So, it's like there's been a lot of people that, that were up there in age. You got to expect it, but you never want it to happen. So, anyway, there's been a lot. So, like, you get the opportunity to meet with your family, you go. And I realized yesterday, I think it was, that I'm kind of holding a grudge. Um, my mom's, uh, my mama's memorial, happened in February 25th, 2022. And the thing was is um, that I insisted on having my husband with me. We drove all the way down to my sister's, and then we were gonna go in her car from there, I guess. And she had a van, a minivan. Anyway, we're gonna go with that. Well, we ended up taking brother-in-law's Jeep, and my husband stayed with brother-in-law. So, uh, I'm kind of holding a grudge because he didn't want to be there with me. He wanted to be there with brother-in-law fixing the dumb door that I'm sure brother-in-law could have fixed by himself. But anyway, my husband does some stupid things sometimes. Like, like I'll just be trying to ask him a question real quick or comment on something he's talking about with the Xbox, and he doesn't listen to me and then gets upset because I made a comment, because I interrupted. Anyway, I don't want to get, into weepy tear mode. You know, I'm already there, but, um, I think, I feel like my sister's abandoning me. And, she's not doing it on purpose. And I know this. She's doing it because, her husband's actually going to have a job that he can do. And, well, I hope he can do it. Anyway, he's going to have a job that he can do. And, um, it's hopefully not going to hurt his back or stress him out too much. I don't know on that second part because he's going to be working in a prison. I just think that's stressful no matter what. Okay, so how can you have um like um like I said, I was a little upset just now. So my eyes should be happy because, um um tears make I don't mean like go and make your kid cry on purpose or something like that. But I think, tears are good for your eyes because, it's the moisture that they need. But I just had that little problem. And My eye is acting like it is dry as a desert. I was gonna say something else, and then I was like, no, that's not okay on stream. There was no bad words in there. It's just that the thing I was gonna the idea that I was gonna use is not okay. Dry as heck, except for that I was gonna use a different word. Yeah. I am actually surprised I haven't fallen asleep, and it's like all of a sudden my like all of a sudden I'm in adrenaline mode. Like my body's going, you're not falling asleep, so I guess we gotta keep you awake somehow. Oh, I need to check that out anyway. What am I getting worried about? So, because I am playing Pop's Disney Adventures very, very low this time, I want to say that one of my favorite things at Disneyland is the clock on It's a Small World. And it's because when when it's the hour mark, it has like the big show, and if it's the half an hour, it has a smaller show, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's just on the hour. But anyway, it's really cool. It's just a little mechanical characters, dancing or dancing, I guess. Anyway, and I like it. It's not the fastest way to tell time, but it is more fun. Okay. So I keep telling my husband that we need to get back to we used to do a I think we've been keeping up on that, but we used to do like the one big meal out of the house on paycheck day. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but just in case, I don't feel like getting copyrighted today. I really don't. So until he's out of It's a Small World, I'm going to mute it. No, the whole thing yesterday was that I was going to work on my story after I was done doing what I was doing, which didn't exactly happen. Like I said, we got to the 4:00. Like it was just before 4:30, I think, and she's like, "Come bring and we can meet up here," and I'd be able to get her the books. So So, I write books. You've probably heard me say that a million times, but I write books. They're available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. They ship everywhere that Amazon ships to, and they're available for free shipping. Okay. For hardback, Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, and Hard Times are $26 each. Esperanza's Party is $24. The Island is $25, and Lessons in Love is $27. Unfortunately, my children's book, Coral, it's from the point of view of Coral, and it's got pictures that I actually took myself, with my camera, of Coral and Ben and Sam and their daddy, my husband. So, I think there's only one picture of him, but, still, it's a cute book. But it's not available in hardback. So, I keep saying at this time, like I can do something about it. Like I can do something to make sure that I can sometime in the future put it on there. But I can't find any of those pictures, and it's driving me crazy. There's this one picture I have. I used it for a thumbnail picture. I used it for a thumbnail picture on YouTube as my subscribe button. But, it's way too small to, like, use as a, if I was going to make another book where it's Nancy, I don't know who was older out of the two, like if they arrived at the same time but weren't actually from the same litter, because they were definitely two different cats. They were definitely two different cats. I mean, two different breed of cats. So I think they just, I don't know if they were actually sisters, but they got attached to each other, so we definitely wanted to keep them together. We lived in an apartment one time, and they only wanted to take the one cat, and I'm like, yeah, but they're sisters, and they've always grown up together. They'd be so devastated if we split them apart. And they would. So they let us have both of them. But then our friend and the crazy cat lady screwed that up for us. Because I didn't want to say no. They were kitty cats, Anyway, there was 4 feral cats that we actually taught to be cats. And there was 4 kittens that need to be bottle fed. And yeah, we weren't planning on keeping all of them. I mean, we weren't planning on keeping all of the cats. We were probably gonna my husband got really mentally attached to to at least one of the feral cats. But like we got them playing with toys and everything. It was awesome. Wasn't awesome at first because they were definitely claws first, ask questions later. But, we got them to that point that, they weren't snarling it at us and themselves. Each other. I liked that place. It was, we, we didn't need a wheelchair or anything like that, but it was ADA compliant, and it was on the first floor. All we had to do was, there was no stairs involved, so I was really happy about that. Did I ask for extra trees or apples or whatever you just threw at me? There. What else can we talk about? I don't know. Well, my ultimate goal today is that, we got some new stuff for Olaf's grand exhibition in Dreamlight Valley, and, one of our files needed fish added to it. And I don't remember which one it was. So I'm going to have to go through both files and see if we can do it. Now, because I want to be totally awake when I put this together, I'm probably going to see about taking that nap first and then doing this. My stomach's acting like it was totally hungry. Oh, for paperback, all of them are $20 each, except for Coral, which is a lovely bargain at $6. I noticed retail stores usually start out at about $10 for a children's book, and I think that's crazy. Because it's a children's book. And then for ebook, Coral is $2.99. Pirate's Daughter and Esperanza's Party are $3.05 each. All of the others are $5 each. Oh, we're still 14 minutes out before I can actually end this with being happy that we went the whole time. It's probably gonna be, it's probably gonna take a really long time to get this done. But it would be nice if it did get done. It'll be nice when it does get done. I shouldn't say if, because... Well, I'm only saying if because I keep coming up with the same problem where the thing does not want to... it lights up before it's supposed to. And I'm like, I don't know why it's doing this. Makes no sense, but it is Redstone. And I've heard Redstone has issues. Usually, if I build something, it doesn't have issues. It's because I, have the wonderful thing of ridiculousness with the repeaters. You're supposed to be able to set it off with doing them 15 apart. So like 15 redstone and then a repeater. And it just doesn't work that way with fireworks. Oh, and if you are searching in the search thing, uh, if you're searching in your inventory for fireworks, don't put fireworks, put firework. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what you got to put in, because for some reason it doesn't understand fireworks, but it says firework duration 1, firework black, firework um, gray and light gray, firework white. Think that's why it does that, but it's still annoying because usually you don't just get one firework and blast it off and that's it. You usually do a lot. Well, I got a problem. I can't wait another 11 minutes. I have to go upstairs. I will be back. So I cannot find Sam. My cat. I know where Ben is, but I cannot find Sam. And I doubt my husband would have taken him to work with him since he works in a grocery store. So I'm confused. Hold on. Hey, you. Found Bobby. Well, I knew where Bobby was. You know, the thing is I was hearing meow, 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 like somebody's stuck, and then I did not see him in the bedroom. So if he is in the bedroom, he's hiding very well. I was hoping he was under my desk. He's got a box under there that he likes to lay in. And, you know, I kind of think it reminds him of his, sister. You know, Coral. Anyway, I'm freaking out now. A little bit. Because, like, if my husband had the door open and he happened to get outside, I don't know that he would go outside, but if he happened to, then, you know, that'd be a very good reason why, but it is entirely possible that he's in the bedroom and I just didn't see him. Oh, I didn't check behind the door. Okay. Oh, okay, so it's 11:01. I need to figure out where the H double hockey sticks Sam is. He's driving me nuts. Anyway, I need to figure out where Sam is. So if you are watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. And if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Notification bell. Please get those valid public watch hours up. Last time I checked, we were at 1,265. And thank you. Thank you for that. But also, please help me get up to 3,000. And please buy my books. And I will see you in the next stream or video.